talked with Elizabeth Jinkner, also known as Bitsy, with Setting Sun Arabians about her past with cerebral palsy and how writing and showing have helped her overcome those physical challenges.
Hi everybody, I'm Bitsy Jinkner. I am with Setting Sun Stables in Wakarusa, Indiana. They're right by Notre Dame. And I personally am from just west of Chicago in a small rural town called Marengo, Illinois. I was born premature, and actually my real name is Elizabeth, and that's how I got the name Bitsy, was because I was born premature and I was super small. So my grandpa decided to dub me Itsy Bitsy, and it stuck. My mom, most of you who may be watching this know my mom. She's a very passionate person, and she noticed that there was something that wasn't right developmentally with me. So she had taken me back to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Mother, she's just premature, she's going to be a little bit slower." And my mom was pretty persistent that there was something wrong. And I didn't sit up by myself until I was 1.5 years old. So she kept pushing, and they finally figured out that I had a form of cerebral palsy it's called hypotonic cerebral palsy, which is a muscle issue. Basically what she did was she asked immediately what type of therapy she could get me in, and we started with actual physical therapy. The story goes, I think it was 7 days a week, so I went 5 days to an actual camp. And then on the weekends they had a personal therapist come in. And then my mom asked immediately about the horses. How would horses help with my development? Would it benefit? And the doctor said absolutely. So that's kind of how we got officially into showing, so to speak. The story goes, again, that I started riding before I could actually walk. So I would roll around the house, and that was my method of transportation. So my mom kind of got me involved. I remember going on weekends, and this was before I was 4. I remember driving on weekends what seemed like forever, and I would go and take lessons. My mom got me started immediately, so that was pretty much the main method of therapy from the horses. Horses are an incredible therapy, not only physically but mentally. They're basically, when you are on a horse, as everybody knows, you're pretty much using every muscle. And what they would do is they would have me do little tricks and passing balls and doing things like that to make sure that I could do different things muscly in order to try to strengthen myself, aside from just the regular going around in a circle lesson. It did definitely help. I'm not the fastest runner, but I started to run around. I was actually able to start walking, sitting up on my own. It helped, with my muscle development, obviously. The only way you can tell nowadays is if you look at me in a saddle, or if you look at the bottom of one of my shoes, I sit is a little rough. I sit a little uneven, and my hips are a little uneven. What started off kind of a little dire situation turned into something that was very positive, obviously. He said, my motor skills still aren't great, and I don't think they ever will be. Not the most perfect. My handwriting is atrocious, but I walk, I can dance, I can attempt to run. I mean, everybody that shows obviously loves to compete, right? Everybody dreams about getting that rose blanket. I think for me, what I'm hoping to accomplish is just to, every show I have a new goal, right? And to me, if I hit that goal, that's a win. You can't control the 3 people that are standing in the middle, and you're the 1,400-pound animal that you're sitting on and trying to get to go around in a circle and do what you want it to, or the people in the crowd, So for me, it's just more my own personal goal. I want to have a good ride. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter what the outcome is ribbon-wise, as long as I feel like I've accomplished something, my trainer thinks that I've accomplished something, and I'm happy with my horse. I'm okay with it.
Barbara and Lori are 2 sisters riding the same horse, Dusty, at U.S. Nationals together. Here is their story.
I'm Barbara Tibbs. I'm from Sandpoint, Idaho, and we are here by ourselves without any barn or anything, so we're independent. And this is my sister, Lori Tibbs. We're both showing the same horse. It's Barbara's horse, basically, and she shows in trail and Western pleasure. When we were going to the Arab shows, then when they started having the adult equitation and showmanship, then Barbara offered to let me use her horse for that too. So I ride the equitation and the showmanship, and she does the pleasure and the trail. His registered name is Ravenwood Dun and Style. He picked me out when he was 2 months old. I had lost my trail horse that I had used the year before to a colic, and I was looking for a new horse. So I was searching all over our area for a 3-year-old part-bred gelding that I could train and do something, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. And then I had always heard of this Ravenwood Ranch over in Montana in the working cow divisions, or the working horse divisions, and so I contacted Jane Bone, who owns it, and asked her, do you have anything over there? We decided, well, let's go over and see what she's got anyway. I had narrowed it down to a 2-year-old black filly that I liked the best after seeing all the horses in the area around this 2-year-old black filly, and I said, well, can I see her sire and dam? So she took us into the pen that had all the brood mares with their babies. And so she took me to show her dam, and then there was this colt that was following us around, and it was Dusty. And he just kept following, and he grabbed the back of my coat and just keep pulling on me and tugging on me and stuff. And I was like, get away, I don't want a baby colt. And then I found out that his mother was a full sister to this black filly that I was looking at, and I looked at her and really liked her. She was a beautiful Gruya mare, and Dusty at the time, at 2 months old, was a red dun. So we left there going home, and on the way home I said to Lori, what did you think about that baby colt? And she said, well, did you like him? And so he was just stuck in the back of my mind, and a couple days later Jane sent a picture of him and said, here's the red dun guy today, and it was this beautiful picture of him trotting around. And then I decided, well, I need to go back and look at him again. So when we went back, he followed me out into the pen. He came right back out, and he followed us and was tugging on my coattails and everything. And so I decided, okay, I'll take him. Lori and I have both been school teachers we both just retired this year from teaching school. Lori taught for 34 years and I taught for 30 years, and we retired. And that was a really hard thing for us to do because we loved teaching school. Lori taught elementary and I taught high school.
That was always Barbara's goal, was to get to the U.S. Nationals.
After turning in our letters of request for retirement,
One Saturday morning,
I was just...
she comes over to my bedroom and says, okay, bucket list, we're going to Tulsa this year.
So it was kind of scary going all that time, and what am I going to do in the fall? And so as soon as I told Lori, let's go to Tulsa, because Dusty was qualified, we were both, and she was qualified in showmanship and at that time and horsemanship, and I had qualified in the Western Pleasure, and so we just decided, okay, we're going to do that. And so we haven't missed going to school at all this fall because we've been preparing for this horse show.
She's currently sitting on top in her select trail. She's the high score, so that's kind of the neat thing. We're so lucky because we have a lot of friends who want to do the same thing that we're doing, but they don't really have the support of anybody else to help them through. And because we have somebody else that has the same interest and same goals, it's a lot easier than just being totally on your own.
My dad used to always say that the theme with Lori and I when we were doing things was, you hold it, I'll ride it. So, and that's what we've done since riding bucket calves and everything when we were growing up. It's taken a whole community to help us
right.
with the support and stuff, and I couldn't believe it. As soon as we arrived here on the fairgrounds, we were bombarded with Facebook messages from all our friends, how you doing, good luck, and all the support that we have back home, and what time are you going to be on, when can we watch the live. It's really fun, and it's a neat feeling knowing that all these people they can't be here, but they're there helping us along the way.
And we hope someday we can turn around and
Yeah.
get some of our friends to be able to do it too.